Never thought I'd die fighting side by side with a gooner.
What about side by side with a friend?
I could do that.
Legislation such as the UK's Online Safety Act and the United States' Kids Online Safety Act report to be common sense measures to stop kids from looking at pornography. Supposedly, they're common sense measures such as having to provide a photo ID before you buy cigarettes, or provide a photo ID before you vote, or buy beer, or something like that. Now, is this truly the goal of those measures, or are they trying to censor information, art, things of that nature? And if it's supposedly to stop kids from accessing adult entertainment, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, why are sites like Wikipedia worried about being affected by it? Wikipedia probably wasn't the first website that came to your mind when I said adult entertainment. The organization Collective Shout pressured payment processors for Steam and Itch.io, online video game marketplaces, that content on their websites could be an issue as well. Let's get into it, big boy.
The internet is not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes.
Okay, first off, in my little folder I have here, Elon Musk is worried about this too. I've had my qualms with him in the past, but he agrees with me here, so we'll go ahead and pull that up right here. Elon Musk right here with the 100 emoji here. I see this guy pop up all the time. I don't know who Grums is, but the UK Online Safety Act is out and causing havoc. The privacy and self-doxing laws always claim they're about protecting children, but what it's really doing is building a database of users' personal information in a country that wants to arrest you for online speech. Yeah, they arrest people for Facebook posts talking about the government. The T app, yeah, that just happened. The T app shows this info will be leaked. Not if, but when. It's just a bad idea. Yeah, the T app, it was an app for, I think mainly for women to like talk about dates they went on and be like, hey, this guy's a creep, whatever, red flags, or, oh, this guy's nice, but whatever. And it got hacked immediately. So all those women's driver's license and selfies confirming their real life identity and their address got leaked online. So that is one of the legitimate concerns about something like this is, so let's say you want to use Twitter, which is not mainly for prawn, but it's on there. So if every Twitter user had to upload their photo ID, which has your address on it, to get an uncensored view of the website, that's definitely going to cut down on the virality of a piece of information or a clip that was posted on Twitter. That's kind of the problem. And even if you're willing to give Twitter your address, your license, that just gives the government a perfect database of what anybody has said, right? Because most people aren't posting their face like me when they're talking about stuff on the internet. So if that's the case and it starts to become like the UK, they have your address right there. Oh, so-and-so said this about Trump or whoever the next president is or whatever. Get his ass. So it just makes it more easy to do that. So that's kind of one of the main concerns with this whole, your online identity needs to be tied to a driver's license. That's the main problem with that. Given the nature of the people talking about this, explore these Twitter accounts at your own risk. The people I'm sourcing for this video, you've been warned. I'm not clicking on any of these right now, but anyway. So Europe got hit by the entire. Yeah, so I saw it. So it's all of Europe. All of Europe got hit with that UK, because that's the thing with these online affecting legislations is a lot of websites will just implement it wholesale. They're not going to go, oh, we're going to region check. Nope, they're just doing it wholesale because it's easier. And if the trend continues, it's probably going to happen there as well. So Europe got hit by the entire UK law, or all of Europe. Kind of odd grammar. So Europe got hit by the entire UK law, I see. Apparently VPNs can't get around it from what I'm hearing. Yikes. EU is following what the UK just did. Okay, we just talked about that with its Online Safety Act, but will give platforms 12 months to deploy age verification. So again, yeah, if you're like a website that just sells adult entertainment, yeah, you should have to give proof of your age because you're purchasing something that is legally age restricted. But this is the problem when it goes to social media. sites, where now you're trying to de-anonymize and put together a registry of everybody's location, your home address. You're putting together a registry of every internet user's home address, which, if you've ever heard of doxing, it's where you expose someone's personal information. If you're a controversial or maybe not even controversial figure on the internet, you don't want your address getting leaked. So that's going to affect what people say and talk about on the internet, knowing that there's a registry that Elon Musk has your home address. King of Trivia. Who the hell? Why King of Trivia? Who are you, bro? It's not even not safe for work content. Random art, cosplay pictures, or memes are illegal now too. Yeah, so the thing is, I'm sure we'll find it later, but some of this legislation, or it might have been the thing from the payment processes, I'm not sure, but regardless, the thing you got to be careful about with this kind of legislation, even if what you're being sold on the face of it, oh, we're making sure kids can't see prawn. If the legislation is very lax, they can kind of just decide what they determine to be obscene. Because as we're going to get into, it's not just prawn. It's also like horror video games, I guess cosplays. I don't know if it's, naked cosplays. I don't know. But it seems like it's not a very strict definition of what is obscene enough to need an ID to verify. Whether you like not safe for work or not, it is the first line of defense in terms of freedom of speech and expression. Because once a governmental organization or huge corporation feels comfortable enough restricting access to what people see, it will never, ever end there. Never has. Yeah, people call the slippery slope a fallacy, but no, that's how it works. So like you give them an inch, they take a mile. So yeah, today it's just your favorite OnlyFans girl. You can't see her anymore because she's from the UK. But tomorrow it could be like legitimate like news about something, or just art that people don't like because it's anti whatever the current administration, social norms, whatever is. 4chan users are vowing to join the fray this weekend against Collective Shout with a calling campaign, Operation Fight Fire with Fire. Yeah, so if you agree with what I'm saying and you don't like credit card processors being able to determine what kind of stuff you can view, purchase, watch, support, call them up. Call up Visa, call up MasterCard. Their numbers are public. And later in this thread, I don't know if I'll read it or if we'll get to it, but yeah, some of this. Oh, I think this is it right here. Where it's talking about the slippery slope I was talking about with lax guidelines and saying that it's, kind of up to their discretion. Itch.io quietly added these new guidelines. This is the independent video game platform I was talking about in the intro. Itch.io quietly added these new guidelines on content for the site. Massive blow to adult creators. Adding this silently is yet another PR snafu. Now, I personally really do not like adult, as in prawn, video games. I really find it icky. I don't know. I'm not a fan. But I think you should be allowed to make it and profit off of it if it's something people want. You're not hurting nobody. You're just making a game with... Yeah, but okay, let's go ahead and read this. I think this is an example of what I was talking about earlier. The following is a non-exhaustive, that right there, red flag, list of prohibited themes present in card processing networks. We are unable to support the sale of any works containing these topics. Now, this stuff, that's the thing. I think I would agree with not supporting these type of things. Non-consensual content, real or implied. Well, of course, real, that's a straight up crime, but... Underage, of course. Horrible crime, of course. We wouldn't want MasterCard to support that. Things between family members. Don't want to say it out loud. Don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. Things with animals. Again, non-consensual. Trafficking people. Again, non-consensual uploading of compromising photos of people. Things with waste from the body or extreme harm. Okay, but this is how they get you. All that stuff is really nasty and bad. But then here's the next paragraph. It's almost impossible to come up with an exhaustive list of unacceptable products to sell. So often we have to take content reviews one at a time. If an issue arises with your account that isn't already covered by our policy, then we will contact you and share what options you have. So they're saying they can look at your content and decide, oh, we've decided that we don't like this. So just at a whim. You have no hope of knowing what can't be stopped. So I think this is just if you collected money one, but I think this is just from Itch.io. So this isn't like the wording of the bills and laws we talked about in the intro. But still, this is what you got to work out for, because this is how they get you. They put the nasty stuff here. We're against this nasty stuff. But then they say, oh, well, we can't come up with a whole list of what's bad, so we'll just figure it out as we go. If we don't like you, we'll address it then. This is another point someone brought up that I guess it's worth at least touching on. I don't know who this is. Heinlein, I don't know who this is, but society begins to fall into bad practice when parents don't have the wherewithal to housebreak their own children. You're not protecting anyone. You're collectively failing to accept responsibility for your own and relying on the government to nanny for you. Yeah, if you're a parent, you shouldn't be letting your kid have unrestricted computer access. Or if you are going to, there's tools you can use to make sure they're not going on adult entertainment websites and things of that nature. There's things you can put in place so that if you can't have an eye directly on your kid's screen, they can't get to certain websites with, gore, violence, adult fun, things of that nature. This person said, called MasterCard, said I wanted to lodge a complaint. Woman on the other line immediately asked if it was about MasterCard's adult content policy. They're definitely getting slammed. So yeah, it's working. It's working. Calling representatives and whatnot, I guess works. I mean, it's kind of boomer, but hey, this is another good point. It's kind of a ridiculous extreme, but I mean, whatever. Having to upload your face for a wank. Oh, British. Just kidding. What if someone else uses the pewter? I think you should be forced to video stream yourself to a government agent at all time while whacking it just to make sure it's really you. And you have to hold your ID in the other hand. Yeah, it's like, so at what point, how much of your privacy has to be given up in exchange for safety? Let me look up the Benjamin Franklin quote. Okay, so apparently there's some... it's in contention whether or not Benjamin Franklin ever actually said this, but whatever, I think it still stands. So supposedly from Benjamin Franklin, they that can give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. So yeah, you're going to be to the point where if you use the internet, there's a exhaustive list of everybody's addresses and faces, all this information about you, so that the government can do your job of making sure your kid's not watching people on his iPad. Like, that's kind of your job, bro. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm a youngin'. I don't have kids, but I feel like that's kind of your job, right? To make sure they're not looking up nasty stuff like that. Okay, I always see this guy pop up. I don't know if this guy's legit or not, but I always see him pop up. So apparently here, just in UK Home Office to assemble an elite team of police officers to monitor social media for anti-migrant sentiment. I don't know if Disclosed TV or whatever is a reputable news source or whatever, but I have heard about that happening, people getting arrested in the UK. I don't think that's disputed. I think that's pretty much true. I don't think there's really any disputing that. And it's like, yeah, so if your government gets to the point where they can arrest you for a post, you don't want your Twitter account having your real name and address linked to it. Push for mass censorship law. It's for your safety. We just want to verify your age to avoid harmful content. Adult entertainment. People give up their IDs. Censors even more than they said. Yep, with the horror games and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. Create task force to arrest dissenters. I don't know about that, but I mean, apparently I've heard they're arresting them in the UK. And already have ID links to find them direct. Evil. Yeah, it's bad, fellas. And apparently this is the part that got me. Apparently this is true. If we go on here. Under the new law, the UK media regulator Ofcom, I don't know, is poised to label Wikipedia as a Category 1 platform. They're doing the Schedule 1, like with weed and whatnot, they're doing Schedule 1. This would impose the strictest content rules possible. Age verification for users for Wikipedia, identity verification for contributors. That I think is kind of fine. Like if you're supposedly an expert on history or science or something, I can see that as being fine because it's not quite a public social media. You're contributing to an encyclopedia. So, all right. And censorship of harmful topics. That's the point. That's not corn pornography, whatever YouTube safe term you want to say, harmful topics, information. Wikipedia has already stated they will not implement any of these rules, arguing they would be forced to censor crucial facts and potentially expose their volunteer contributors to real-world harm. Yeah, if you say something controversial and then your ID's on there, I guess that is a good reason to have the contributors not have to verify themselves. I guess I see that. I wonder, has Wikipedia said anything about this? I wonder. Okay, this seems like a legit source. They can know PDF ad in the top. Wikipedia seeks to shield contributors from UK law targeting online anonymity. Wikimedia Foundation. The Guardian. Wikipedia challenging UK law. It says exposes it to manipulation and vandalism. Okay, so I guess it's legit. Yeah, they are. So yeah, Wikipedia is under fire from this law. It's supposedly trying to stop kids from watching naked people, supposedly. Here we go. Apparently this is from the CEO of MasterCard. Here, I'll put this on the full screen. CEO at MasterCard, building safe and innovative tech. Now that's priceless. So I guess this is their new thing here. This is their policies. Illegal or brand damaging transactions. Let's look at the highlighted. The sale of a product or service, including an image, which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value. Who defines if something's offensive or has artistic value? Such as by way of example and not limitation. Here we go with the vagueness. Images of non-consensual S behavior. S, exploitation of a young person, non-consent. So here we go of all like the nasty stuff, but not limitation. So they load you with the nasty stuff and then say, but it's kind of up to our discretion. Or any other material that the corporation, ooh, that just sounds, the corporation, some damn Night City type shit, right? Some cyberpunk. That the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark. So the corporation considers any of the following activities to be in violation of this rule. Yeah, illegal or brand damaging. So it's up to their discretion. It's not necessarily this thing or that. They just get to decide, we're not going to let you use our platform to pay for it, even if it's not necessarily illegal. We just don't see that it has artistic value. So yeah, CEO, some guy, some Patrick Bateman type dude is going to say, well, your thing doesn't have artistic value, so nobody can use a credit card for it. They're gonna have to send you cash in the mail, I guess. So the last thing I'm gonna do on this is like the video game stuff right here. From at Horror Visuals, horror games community. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, they came for us next and started banning horror games from Steam and itch.io. Or itch. For those of you who are asking, as you may know, Itch and Steam were forced to remove or shadow ban a bunch of games recently, mainly adult entertainment games. But that was clearly only the beginning, and I was expecting it to hit horror next, and it did. Let's see. This sucks. Not only is it basically censorship, but it also opens the door for these platforms to label anything as unsafe or not safe for work and remove it entirely. Horror games often walk that line with their themes and aesthetic. What if they're next? And then we have an official thing here from itch.io. We have de-indexed all adult NSFW content from our browse and search pages. We understand this action is sudden and disruptive. We're truly sorry for the frustration and confusion caused by this change. We came under scrutiny from our payment processors regarding the nature of some content hosted on itch.io due to a game titled. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't know what kind of thing it is. We're not going to associate. Maybe it was really nasty. Who knows? But this is kind of like adpocalypse type stuff, right? So basically, I'm just going to summarize. They basically said we want everybody to still be able to make money off of their games. So we just had to go super strict, hide these games so that the most people on the platform could still have payments processed so they could sell their games and make money. And I think I saw someone in the original thread said, oh, itch.io sucks. Well, it's like it was either that or nobody can make any money. So, I mean, they kind of had to do something So these, because then again, this is like small games. This isn't Steam where it's like Activision or whatever publishing games, big companies. I mean, Steam has indie games too, but I'm pretty sure Itch.io is all indie games. So it makes sense that they don't want to screw all those people over. Later right here, it says that they're going through and doing an actual, like, they're taking it by a case basis, see what they can keep up, what they can salvage, but they had to go super hard line, scorched earth to protect the platform. And then after that, some pages will be permanently removed. This is, I think, important to talk about because this could reach different, it could reach social media platforms, not just storefronts. Why was Itch.io's response greater than Steam's, the big video game store? Just in case there's any old heads watching this that don't know what Steam and Itch.io is, that's why I'm saying big video game store, small video game store. We're not all gamers out here. The difference in our response stems from the difference in our platforms. Steam is a closed platform where every product page is approved before it appears on the store. Because they were generally aware of the content they host, they could identify and act on specific pages. So if you've ever heard of Section 230, I'll probably put it up on screen. It's the thing that basically says websites aren't held legally liable for the stuff people post. So if some creep was to post harmful material of children, the CEO of that social media company doesn't immediately just go to prison because it was on their servers. Like, no. If people are posting thousands of hours of content a day, some of it might be illegal. And no, I don't think the CEO of YouTube should go to prison because someone puts up something illegal on the website. There's no, it's just impossible to scroll through thousands of hours of footage a day per day. There's only, the math ain't mathin'. So basically, if it gets to the point where that is no longer an option, and even though they have that legal protection, the credit card processors won't work with them, every social media could potentially have to be someone has to manually review it. So that viral tweet you wanted to put out, well, guess what? You've got to wait till the staff reads your tweet and says that it's okay. Like, it could potentially get to that point where you can't just post things. It has to be manually reviewed to make sure that it's not going to upset MasterCard or Visa. Well, that's basically my thoughts on that bit of legislation and credit card company drama. If you liked the video, thought it was good, insightful, maybe you didn't know about it, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, share it, post it on Boomer Book on Facebook so that all your parents can see it. And I will see y'all in the next one.